Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Lara Trump One In for Questioning. I think this is our 50th episode. 50 times that all the Democrats, I'm sure, have tuned in and learned quite a bit about what I'm going to say is possibly one of their favorite Trumps, Lara Trump, right here. Send in your questions, Democrats. I want them all. We are now proudly part of Salem, and we're excited to get to your questions. But before we start, I want to tell you very quickly about one of our sponsors, AMAC. America deserves better, a fighting chance to become the great country it once was. When I think of people like my own parents, honest, hardworking, down-to-earth Americans, I think of organizations like AMAC. The Association of Mature American Citizens is America's leading conservative senior advocacy and benefits organization. This is your non-woke alternative to the AARP with 2 million members strong. Americans are recognizing that where they spend their dollars actually matters. Giving your hard-earned money to the AARP further funds the decline of American values and promotes agendas that we, the people, do not support. AMAC listens to their members and voices their concerns in Washington. They're here to offer you guidance, support, and address the issues that matter most in our communities. Join AMAC today and get exclusive benefits that can save you money. You've built this nation, weathered challenging times, and witnessed moments of greatness. Now you're watching it all fall apart. It's time to take a stand and join the fight. Visit amac.us/Lara. That's amac.us/LARA to take action. Join AMAC, save the nation, and now let's get back to all of your questions. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Coolest place in the White House? You can't say the Oval Office. It's actually not the coolest. Here's the place that, no surprise, I actually was like, this is really cool. There's a gym in the White House. Now, maybe that's not surprising, but the White House has several stories. I don't even know how far below ground the White House goes because they only took us to certain places. I didn't have the clearance, you see, to go everywhere. But up on, I want to say it's the 3rd or maybe it's technically the 4th floor of the White House is the White House gym. And I'll never forget the first time I actually went and used the gym. I was there. It must have been around inauguration time, or maybe it was the first time I visited after inauguration. Anyway, there by myself. Big shocker. Nobody else had joined me at the time. These days, Eric Trump would be in there with me, so don't kid yourself. We got that one going. But I was there, and I had the TV on, and there on the TV is a picture, live shot. It was probably on Fox News of the White House. And I'm like looking at it as I'm in the White House working out. It was one of the crazier experiences. And I was like, God, this is real. Like, this is actually happening. Really amazing. There's also, I think my favorite spot would have to be in the residential quarters of the White House. You've seen those like half oval windows, beautiful. That's sort of on either end of where the president and first lady and, Barron at the time were living. And right there in the hallway is a beautiful grand piano. I believe it's a Steinway. And I couldn't help myself, but every now and again, just go over and just do a little piano playing in the White House. There also is a huge grand piano in like the main, I don't even know, foyer area, like by the front doors of the White House, that they often have a Marine playing if you go to formal events at the White House. But yeah, those are some pretty cool spots. Also, I mean, everybody's heard about the bowling alley. That's fun. And then I think another spot that I didn't really know existed, there are these little offices downstairs, and there's a guy there who I guess he's like a horticulturist or something. He takes care of a lot of the plants and vegetation on the property there, but he's also like the animal whisperer around there. So when the Obamas were there and they had their dogs, he was taking care of their dogs a lot of the time. And then they asked us before we had kids to bring our dogs, no joke, to the White House Easter egg roll. And I obliged very happily. Charlie and Ben were there. And this guy, after we did like the formal stuff outside, we were going to go up and do some family time. And instead of bringing the dogs, which would have been okay, he was like, can I keep the dogs down here with me? So this guy's got a whole setup in his office for animals. Love that too. There's a lot of info You didn't know about the White House, right? Yeah, stay tuned, because I'll tell you what, I'm going to take notes for next time, and I'll have even better things to tell you come 2025 when we're back in there for round 2. Okay. Next question. What got you into fitness? Gosh, I guess my whole life. I'm going to say my parents. Shout out to Bob and Linda Unaska. Yeah, I think it's kind of a natural thing. If you see your parents doing things, you in turn want to replicate that. And I mean, I grew up playing all different kinds of sports. And I actually remember there was one summer, it must have been in high school, where it was between sports seasons, right? So like summer, you kind of like have fun and relax, and you're not maybe doing the same kind of conditioning you otherwise would be doing for whatever the sport is. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, I don't understand. Like, I used to have muscles, and like all of a sudden they're gone. And she was like, well, you haven't been using them. And that's the first time it dawned on me. I was like, oh, I got to keep this going all the time. I see what we're doing here. So that was it. And then that's all she wrote for me. Since then on, I've always been into it. And what I notice is the times I can't work out like I want to, or don't have access to it, or too busy, or traveling, or whatever it is, I start to get a little crazy. I'll be honest. Don't take my word for it. Ask Eric Trump. He'll tell you I can get a little crazy. It is a good stress reliever for me. It is the way that I certainly blow off steam, and kind of like that's like a meditative thing for me, is working out. So shout out to my parents. I'm trying to do it for my kids. So far it's working. Tonight, just before dinner, Luke was like, Mom, will you come play football with me in the backyard? Absolutely. It was great. Could the actual Democrat nominee be Michelle Obama? Why not? Why not? How is it going to be Joe Biden? This is my question. Are we kidding ourselves right now? Are the Democrats kidding themselves? Guys, are you serious? This is the one. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be so shocked. You ran him in 2020 and he won in 2020. Yeah, I'll do that again. Why not Michelle Obama? Joe Biden has the most abysmal of everything. He doesn't inspire confidence. He's not cool in any way. That's why he's losing the youth vote. Don't forget, that's a block the Democrats cannot afford to lose. I think it's the New York Times just did a poll, and Donald Trump is beating Joe Biden and 18 to 34-year-old voters by like 5 points. Beating him. That is unheard of. The Democrats must be blowing their brains out right now and freaking out, because you can't have that. He's losing support in the African-American community. He's down like 25 points from when he won in 2020. And I'll put that in air quotes again, won in 2020. Yeah, it really is shocking to see that he is still there trying to, be president of the United States. Right now, his approval rating overall is 33%. You've never had an incumbent president win with an approval rating that low. Now, I know they're going to pull out something. They're going to do some big show of something down at the border now that they've seen for the Iowa caucuses, for the New Hampshire primaries, that the number one thing that voters in both of those states were concerned with was illegal immigration. Who brought you illegal immigration, ladies and gentlemen? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. These two said, if you want to come to America, now's the time. You can come illegally. We'll just open the doors. We'll let you in. We'll break our own laws by 8 million plus times to let all these people in. It's stressing out every faction of every community across America. Don't think it's a border state problem. It's an every state problem. So yeah, they're in a real pickle on the Democrat side of the aisle. And gotta tell you, Michelle has kind of popped up here and there. She has a very high overall approval rating when you just look at likability of a candidate, which, let's face it, the Democrats need right now. So yeah, in my mind, I could see a world in which Joe Biden has a health issue, or he needs to step down to deal with family issues, a la Hunter and all the mess that follows him everywhere. I don't know. I could see a world in which the DNC makes some deal and they're like, time's up, Joe, gotta go. And they're going to partner up Michelle Obama with Kamala Harris. I don't know. It's crazier things have happened. They did make a rule, or they changed a rule, I should say. The DNC did recently, that you don't need all the states to vote in order to have someone as your nominee for president. Isn't that interesting, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. Folks at the DNC could just be like, Joe Schmo, you're up. It's your turn to be president. You're going to run for the Democrat ticket. And that's it. That's all they need. They just make the decision. You see how they do this? It's not about what we, the people, want if you're a Democrat. It's what they will tell us they're giving us. And that's how it works for them. So I don't know why you would change a rule like that. I don't know how you run someone like Joe Biden. I've said this for a long time. I do not believe he will be the nominee for the Democrats come election day this year. But let's wait and see what happens. Just keep your eyes peeled for what they're doing out there. Keep your eyes peeled for Michelle. Just saying, crazier things have happened in this country, especially with the Democrats. Okay. All right, sorry to interrupt the show. Really quickly before we get back to your questions, if you're anything like me, you know that I take my health very seriously, and maybe you do too. In fact, with each year that passes, the goal of staying in my healthiest and best shape takes on more and more importance for me in my life. Feeling good is something that I don't take for granted because it's become an essential goal for me every single day. That means there are specific things that I need to do to make sure that I'm feeling my absolute best. One of those things is remembering to take Balance of Nature supplements. How did I choose Balance of Nature? There are so many products out there, it's almost impossible to know that you've actually made the right choice. With Balance of Nature, you know that everything is made from whole food ingredients just the way it should be. So if getting more serious about your health is something you've been wanting to commit to, I highly recommend you check out Balance of Nature. You can order them directly at www.balanceofnature.com and use promo code LARA, that's LARA, to get 35% off your order. All right, let's get back to these questions here. Next question. Have you had knee or leg surgery before? Nope. I better knock on some wood because y'all are going to have me falling down some steps here soon. See, that's the way I think about these things. The second I'm like, oh, this happens every time. I'm like, I'll think about it at night right before I go to bed. I'm like, everyone in the house has been healthy. I've been healthy. Eric, the dogs, the kids. Somebody's sick the next day. They're like, could you pick your kid up from school? She's got a fever. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's how it goes. So no, I've never had knee or leg surgery. Now I've had a lot of surgeries on my arms and wrists. So I broke this wrist. You probably can't even see the scar. 3 weeks before Eric and I got married, I was jumping horses, no surprise there, and my horse got a little wild. I ended up on the ground and I did the thing you're not supposed to do. All the equestrian folks out there know you don't put your hands down. I did it. Broke this wrist and needed a full surgery over here. Had, I don't even know, 2 plates and 15 or something screws in my wrist. This one I didn't even know I had broken until the next day when I went in to get all set up for my surgery, and they were like, we should x-ray that wrist as well because that doesn't look great. So I had surgery there. I had a bunch of bone spurs in my elbow. Very cute thing, bone spurs. Who doesn't love a bone spur? And I had to get those removed. That was a little cheerleading injury. What else? I broke my nose cheerleading in college. So they fixed it, but not really because it's kind of crooked if you look at it from a certain angle. Trying to think. That's it. Nothing on the lower half. I know some folks will find that shocking. But yeah, I'm trying to stay that way. I saw all these girls when I was a cheerleader in high school tear their ACL, and I got to tell you, that is a terrible thing to come back from. I was always worried about that. And again, I got to find some wood to knock on. I never had that issue as well. I try to mix it up these days. After you get up over a certain age, they say you shouldn't be running as much. I still love to run. I ran this morning, truth be told. But I try to throw in some biking and some swimming. Triathlons have been good for me to get into that stuff so that it's not so much wear and tear on my body, because I'm not trying to have knee or hip replacements anytime soon. So fingers crossed on that, and we can hope we stay down there. Now, Eric has had surgery on right or left ankle. He broke his ankle. This is right after we first met. And I knew he had broken his ankle because he tried to play it off like he was fine. And he was like, yeah, you want to go get some ice cream at Ben & Jerry's? And I was like, I saw you just go down. Are you sure you're okay? I'm fine. Meanwhile, 20 minutes later in the emergency room. Okay. All right. Here we go. Final question. Oh, when is your hip hop album coming out? Y'all don't even think this isn't even a joke. I'm just telling you right now. Don't sleep on this. You don't know what's coming down the pike. I got things I'm working on right now. That's what I'll say. I'm working with a lot of very creative people. I'll put it that way. It's been a whole new thing for me. I've loved it. And yeah, I'm having a great time. So if you're having fun doing something, keep doing it, right? So I don't know, hip hop album, Tom McDonald, I'm waiting to do a spot on maybe one of his next tracks. Again, I'm ready if he wants to hand me the mic. You could quite frankly plug in any like 90s hip hop or rap song and I'll probably be available to, I don't even need the words on the screen. I can just go. That's fine. So you never know. You never know what you're going to get with the Trumps, especially with one who wasn't born a Trump. See, I just snuck in, right? Here I am. You never know. So stay tuned for that. And maybe we'll have something to report on a new episode coming up very soon of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning on that very topic. So check back with us. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for these great questions. Send us more. Post under this episode. Post on any of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow. And we'll see you back here next time for more of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning.
Nothing is worse than being on a phone call that drops. Nothing is worse than trying to text someone and you can't reach them because your phone is out of service range. And nothing is worse than supporting these major corporations and companies who don't support us. That is why I love Patriot Mobile. They are America's only Christian conservative wireless network. They use every cell tower out there available to all networks so that they have the greatest 4G and 5G coverage nationwide, and they support the causes that are important to us as conservatives. If you go today to patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump and use the promo code Trump, you will get free activation today. Again, that is patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump. The promo code is Trump for free activation so that you can get a great cell plan and feel good about doing it.
At The Right View, we're very proud of the fact that we are independent. We get to say everything that we think and everything that we feel. We have no woke companies guiding us or telling us what we can and cannot say. We are always going to shoot you straight and give you the facts as we know them. And that's why it's important to support independent outlets like The Right View. My name is Lara Trump, and I think Mike Lindell is a patriot. He is someone who loves this country, is willing to fight for this country. I love MyPillow because not only are MyPillows made in the USA by American workers, but they're great products, and they're so great that not only do I use them in my own bed at night, my children actually requested, my daughter the other day went to the closet and pulled out a MyPillow and said, this is the pillow that I want to sleep with. And I gotta tell you, she loves it and will have nothing to do with any other pillow. So it's a big hit around our house. My dogs also happen to sleep on MyPillow dog beds. So all around the Trump household, we're big fans. If you go to mypillow.com today and use promo code Trump, again, promo code Trump, you will not only save money, but you will help us continue this show and other shows like it and help us continue the fight for the future of America.